Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Squall and WhiteRa here on Fighting Spirit. Top right-hand corner is the brown Zerg player Squall, and in the bottom left-hand corner it is the blue Protoss player WhiteRa. Now this replay was from, I think, around 2008, 2009. Got it off of teamliquid.net in a forum post. Thank you to whoever posted that, because it is a great supply for replays to be cast in the Remastered client. Okay, ZVP here on a Fighting Spirit. I'm going to assume that WhiteRa will go for a forward fast expand here. And, I'm not sure there's a standard opening at this point in time for a ZVP. I've seen players go pool first, I've seen them go hatch first, I've seen them go extractor pool at pretty much even rates. So we'll have to wait and see here, because it's a little bit too early to see what's going on. La 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 la. Probe scouting here. Alright, so going the right way this time. Well, cross spawn positions. You can go the right way if you go right. You can go the right way if you go left. Same time. Pool first here. Oh, Overlord. Overpool here. And no gas just yet. So we're not planning on being aggressive here as the Zerg player. Forge, yep, Forge here for WhiteRa. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Hit that like button if you're excited to see what WhiteRa will do against this Zerg player. So far, nothing too aggressive, because, you know, there's no gateway. There is no forward pylon, but if you wanted to cannon rush, he could, but, you know, the pool's almost done, so there'd be no point in that at this point. The probe is going to go ahead and block the expansion. You block the expansion temporarily here, just for a minute. Going to be really super annoying. Another drone has to come off to deal with this. And, he throws down a pylon. That's the worst. Okay, well, some lings are on the way. They're going to knock that pylon down. That's probably a cancel. Yeah, there's the cancel. As the drones are away. The drones are like, fine, take my third base somewhere else. You leave me alone, you mean old Protoss. Throwing up, 2 cannons? Wow. I guess there are 6 lings coming up, but I kind of feel like he could have gotten away with a expansion and a cannon, but he did use some of his resources for the pylon that he lost, unfortunately. Alright, I mean, I guess better safe than sorry at this stage, but I think he probably could have gotten away. Could he fit a gateway in here? If he could fit a gateway in here and get a cannon behind it, he would have been just fine. But I guess as it stands, 2 cannons are going to have to work for it at this point, and that's where we are. Is he still blocking this attempt? Squall okay, so we took the low ground over here in the bottom right for his second base. His third base is going to try to beat his expansion. This probe is still here somehow. The Lings missed him in their run down to the south, and as a result, they have to come all the way back up here. The probe is going to die, but the delay has been extreme right now for the Zerg player. He hates his life. He hates everything. He hates StarCraft. Okay, probe down. Expansion on the way. 400 minerals in the bank. That should be ample. And we are just now taking our gas. So the gas timing feels a little bit late here from the Zerg, but it's just fine as the assimilator, first assimilator, just now coming in from WhiteRa too. So we're 3 basing it at about 3 minutes for the Zerg. He's feeling all right about things. I mean, obviously, the gateway just now finished for WhiteRa, and he's not even making any zealots out of it. So pressure, not a real possibility here at all. Really, just make nothing but drones at this point. I guess a lair, not a bad answer here too. Is he going lair before speed? Yeah. So lair before metabolic boost. It's going to be probably fine, honestly. This means you're going to go for mutalisks, probably. Lurkers are going to be an option here too. Overlord comes in for the scout. Is not going to see any tier 3 technology because the Cyber Core hasn't even started yet. WhiteRa is way... Oh, just kidding. It's back here behind the minimap. And that's a Citadel of Adun opening, which, again, the Overlord will see because there's nothing to kill him at all. Man, that mini-map blockage is really exciting stuff. Got to keep that in mind. Another probe comes in for another scout. Is going to see the lair timing. what is attacking stuff? This Overlord flying a little bit too close to the sun there might actually go down. This Overlord gets the perfect scout off, so we're seeing charge lots in production, which Spire is going to be able to handle just fine. Ah, Probe sees it though. There was a moment there the Probe wasn't going to see that Spire. And I wonder what he's going to do with the Citadel of Adun. Is he going to go for speed? Metabolic boost just now finished up from Squall, so he's got fastlings now, which are really good. Good for map control at this stage of the game for sure. Dragoon comes out and is going to try to kill this Overlord. And Citadel of Adun, yeah, I don't think we're going to go for speed. If it was going to be Hydralisks, we would have definitely seen Zealot legs. But as it stands, we're definitely not going for that. Instead of very quick Templar Archives for Archons would be my guess. If Mutalisks are in play, Archons are a fantastic answer. Second gas coming up now from Squall. Third gas has not been taken yet. He's at 26 workers to 27 for WhiteRa. We're pretty even across the board here. I gotta say, great scout from both the players. They both know what the other one is doing at this stage of the game. Obviously, a tech switch from the Zerg is possible. Could see him go into like a mass Hydra play right now, which would honestly... Is he... Wait. What? What just got canceled there? There was a cancel sound. Maybe he was trying to upgrade that creep colony and then change his mind. Either way, Spire done. Mutalisks in production. How many do we have? Make about 5. It looks like maybe 6. Oh, he's supply blocked though. Oh, Squall. Little supply blocked. There we go. Overlord pops up. We got 6 Mutalisks in production. Not all at the same time, obviously, but we'll get there eventually. And so far, it looks like we're going to be making... Well, it's a handful of Zealots to deal with the Lings. They don't have speed because they're not necessarily... They don't have to be fast. Although speed is on the way to defend. It's more of an offensive thing, and they haven't been offensive to this point. So Sunken's at the third base to defend it. Got a Sunken at the natural base to defend it. There's going to be a Zealot attack at some point here soon. The Zerglings are aware of that. The Mutalisks, really great defense, though. And considering the fact there's not a Stargate here from our Protoss hero, it's going to be a little bit harder to deal with these with just things like Dragoons and Archons. Corsairs are the answer. Corsairs are what exist in the game to deal with Mutalisks to a certain extent. And yeah, here are the Zealots. Now, are the Mutas going to chase them down? Honestly, yeah. If you can kill Zealots without taking any damage to your units, you're going to want to do that. Never mind. The Mutas decide to head on back on over. So I'm not sure where they're going necessarily. We've got Dragoons and Cannons in the mineral lines in both of the first and second bases. In the main and the natural. The Zealot's going for a bit of a run by, but nope, Zergling's blocking that. Getting a pretty good surround on this Sunken, though. Is the Sunken going to go down? It does go down. Second Sunken. Trying its best here. The Zerglings are getting chopped up quite nicely, but the Mutas come save the day. Man, I don't know. That was close without the Mutalisks. I think that could have been really, really dangerous for Squall. But he does hold. The Mutas come back home. And again, I'm not sure what they're accomplishing down here anyway. So that is a lot of Mutas all of a sudden, though. We kept going with them. So we got 10. With another one in production, going to have 11, possibly even 12. Why not? High Templar in production. Dark Archons coming in here, too. We could see some Dark Templar attacks. Could see Dark Archons, but not yet. Ooh, it is Maelstrom. Holy crap. Okay, so perhaps we are going to see Dark Archons. Maybe my little slip of the tongue there was a prediction by accident. Top left base. WhiteRa is praying that Squall doesn't scout this top base, because if he does, it is dead. It is dead. Oh, we got him. We got our guy. There are so many more Dark Archon plays than I ever remember watching in StarCraft back in the day. I watched a ton of StarCraft replays back in like 2008, 2009. Got a bunch of replays again off of websites like Team Liquid. Watched them. I do not remember this many Dark Archon plays ever. But we're getting them, man. For the first couple years I was doing this, there were not many, but I feel like 2019 is the year of the Dark Archon. We have them way more often than we have any right to. I like how they have sticks for legs when Archons actually have legs. I'm not sure what that's all about. Modeling from 1998. Oh, the base gets scouted. The base gets scouted. If the Mutas want to get something done, they need to go there. Is this? Wow, the Archon splash, though. Look at him trying to leash. Trying to get the Archons where they can't get any hits off while they're being attacked, but rough stuff. Hive coming in, more Mutalisks. Go, 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 go. The Zealots are coming up. Maybe trying to save this base. There are 3 cannons, but it doesn't seem like enough versus the army that we've got from Squall right now. He's on 3 bases. He's soon to be on 4 bases. He's got a Hive coming up. I like how Squall is playing this. 7 more Mutalisks in production, ladies and gents. Can they? Ooh, the pylon. Take down the pylon. well, you're losing a lot of mutalisks here, but I guess the cannons are down. That's what matters. 2 mutas remain alive. They do force a cancel on that cannon. Now they have free reign, but there's only 2 of them. 2 mutalisks not inherently scary at all. These Archons and a Dark Archon coming up to try to save the day here. Did they just give up on it? Why'd they send 1? They only sent 1 Archon, which if you split, maybe you could take it down, but so much damage out of Archons. There we go, a bit of a split there. The Archon plays, though. This Archon's going to die. Ooh, nice Maelstrom, though. Pretty nice Maelstrom right there. The Archon's blasting them to death as they cannot run. Great Maelstrom. That's a lot of dead mutalisks. The Archon's getting some serious work here. 4 kills, 2 kills, 4 kills. Archon has no kills because he hasn't feedbacked anything yet. There's been nothing for him to feedback until the Filers and Queens come out. So Greater Spire still coming up. That takes a while for that upgrade, man. It's going to go for Guardians. We might actually end up seeing Maelstrom versus Guardian, which I believe we've seen on the channel, if I remember correctly. The important thing is that WhiteRa held on to this top left base. It is alive. However, Squall on his 4 base is pretty happy. 4th base coming up from WhiteRa now too, though. So he's starting to macro pretty darn effectively, and the Mutalisks were not really the answer. So Guardians it is. Guardians pretty good against Archons just because they have such a low maximum attack range. It's really, really ridiculously short. Oh, he's building them on up here. We've seen this play. Here we go, Guardians. Nothing here to stop this. Whoa, easy camera. Sometimes I forget you can't scroll click and do good things. So technically they outrange cannons, but they drift to the point that they will take shots from any cannon they're attacking. It's just really impossible to avoid entirely. I mean, if WhiteRa or Squall's having trouble with it, I don't feel bad with my guys having trouble with it. Here comes the Maelstrom. Here comes the Maelstrom. There's the Maelstrom. There is the Maelstrom. And here come the Archons. Trying to storm them too. So a couple Guardians died. There are more over here, man. Squall, get your guys into the action. Ah, but the storm is a real thing. Oh, Guardians are such glass cannons. They're even more glass cannons than Ultralisks are, but the natural nexus is going down. You're going down. Down, 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 down. No, woohoo! Woohoo! Is that it? Ugh, singing's hard. Alright, so good Storm takes down another Guardian. The defense here is going fairly well. Storm. Again, Storm dodging with Guardians is a really difficult option. No one likes doing it. That Archon's going to die because the probes blocked him. That High Templar is going to die because he wandered up here for some reason. These Guardians are getting a lot of work done, and not having a Stargate is a major problem right now for WhiteRa. The question is Squall spending his money? Sort of. He's going for an Ultralisk cavern. Oh, that Archon wants to get... he does get a Guardian. He's not dead either, which is nice. He's got 19 shields. More Guardians coming up at the 4th base of WhiteRa. The Assimilator goes down. I mean, if Squall is gonna... I mean, he doesn't have the Overlords for this, but he has the resources for it. This Guardian has 1 kill to his name. More harassment up on the left side trying to do something. These guys are dead. But he has the resources to go for a bunch of Ultralisks, a bunch of Zerglings. Like a Ling Ultra strategy would not be bad here. Guardians going after probes. It's 50 to 48 probes. Like, for all the probes that died and the base that went down, it's actually not been too bad. Zealot's taking direct shots to the face, sacrificing themselves so the probes will live. Gotta love their bravery. And then maybe dragging the Guardians on in here is not a bad idea either. These Guardian eggs, cocoons rather, are just about done. And it does give them full health when they pop. So even if you harm the cocoons, the Guardians themselves when they come out are really nice. Is that another Maelstrom attempt? It is another Maelstrom. I love Maelstrom on big units like Ultras and Guardians. It's so pretty. I wish it had a bigger place in the game. I really do. So again, this is harassment. We've got a big Ling attack coming into the natural base, going to take down these cannons and take down a Dragoon. The Guardians are going to be handled because they're stacking up versus Storms pretty effectively, but the natural base is in a lot of trouble. The replacement Nexus is not going to finish here. These are Zerglings without adrenal glands, but they do have 1/1 attack, which is going to be pretty good against buildings here. Bam. Nothing there. They've always been DPS without any ability to withstand any kind of attacks at all. And as the Archons show up, the Zerglings are going to evacuate into another Archon, unfortunately for them. Ultras in production right now. 99 to 130 supply. WhiteRa still has the bigger army, even though he has lost his natural base, which is problematic. He looks like he's setting up for a shuttle attack in the bottom right there. We'll keep an eye on that one. There is an Ultralisk and a bunch of Zerglings, though, so I don't think that's going to work out all that well for these two Zealots. I like how a Dark Templar is blocking the ramp here. If he didn't bring detection, he can't actually get through that. That is genius. This is a genius, genius play. 107 to 149. WhiteRa has a big lead overall right now. I don't know where the Zealots ended up. I guess they're safe on the low ground here. I love the Zealot Observer positioning here. Pretty good vision out on the map. Although the 3 o'clock has been taken by Squall here too. So we're turning into a situation where it feels like every map or every base on the map is going to be taken at some point. Consume coming in. Defilers are going to be a part of this. You really have to have Defilers to be late game Protoss. Zerglings getting on out of there. And Squall trying to take the 12 o'clock position here too, spending his money pretty well with his 59 to 46 worker advantage right now, which is fairly substantial. Ooh, free High Templar, free High Templar, free High Templar, free High Templar. Little whiffs on those storms. Zergling's not doing much down here, but killing those High Templar would have been massive. I guess the Adrenal Gland taking down an Archon is going to have to do. And then sacrifice all of your lives for that. That is a fair trade. That is a fair trade, ladies and gents. All right, so now WhiteRa has to decide which base does he want to kill, because he has a really big, scary army. I'm not sure that Squall has the units required to handle this. So 3 o'clock is the target. It's down. There's really no Brown streaming over here at all to even try and save it. He doesn't even evacuate the drones, which he probably should have done. He had a backdoor to do that. Let's see if these Ultras... Oh, yeah. The Ultras are going to go try to wipe out what? Coming up, this would be a pretty good target. Pretty good target, but they got to go somewhere. Look at the army coming over to defend this, though. Again, that's that vision we're talking about here. The Zealots holding the line desperately, trying to do this thing. And actually, one of the Ultras does go down. I mean, they don't have huge amounts of armor. They got the 5. Oh, the Reavers are out. The Reavers are out. The Ultralisks are in trouble. Ultras fleeing from the position. That is so many Ultralisks, though. Huge amount of Ultralisks. Did that Dark Templar escape? That Dark Templar escapes. Alright, so the Ultras are a bit trapped up here. I don't know if they're going anywhere is the problem. WhiteRa has come around both sides. Ultras are fighting. They don't like this situation. They're getting stormed. They're getting maelstromed in place, so they can't do anything. Ah, no! The Ultralisks all die. It's 177 to 116 supply. WhiteRa is killing it. Killing it right now. Shoot, monkeys. Zerglings, Ultras, they're going to wipe out this base. Really no saving it here. Can the probes get out is a question. Going through an active war zone, most of them actually get out of there. But the Nexus is done. There's no saving that Nexus at all. +2 attack is finished for the Ultras and the Zerglings. The question is, do the Ultras get out of there? And, ooh, Maelstrom catches one of the Ultralisks. Meanwhile, engagement down south does not go super well for the Zerglings, as attacks on the natural at the front door have not gone very well today. And in my opinion, can these Ultras handle these Archons? Nah, they're just getting out of there. We got a shuttle heading up to the north. It's a Reaver drop heading right in the main base. right in the main base of Squall. Does he know that it's coming? He's not really moving that Ultra into position. Does get 2 drones, not bad. We'll take a couple more there. Thank you very much. Another 2 going down. Oh, yeah. Reaver getting some serious 17 kills on that Reaver. Not bad, my guy. Shuttle down. And that's going to be it for Reaver friend. $172 to $122 supply. Sure. WhiteRa has lost a base recently. Sure. The Zerg player is doing all right with his compositions. He just doesn't have enough at this stage. The Archon count is huge. He's going to go for Ultra drops, which I'm kind of okay about. But the Reaver count's going to be a big deal here. The Maelstrom's going to be good. This Dark Archon has been doing some seriously good work today. Also, Squall not using any Dark Swarm or Plague or anything. And honestly, this is more of a Hydra situation than anything else. When there are this many Archons, like a Hydra Lurker strategy is going to be better for ya than a Ling Ultralisk strategy. So I really don't see Squall winning this thing. Sure, he's macroing up quite nicely. 148 to 186 is a much better position than he was in previously. This top left base looks like it's going to die. Is WhiteRa going to respond to it is the question. Getting Storm on top of the drop zone is exactly what you want to do. But is it enough versus these Ultras? I would submit it is not enough. The High Templar are going to die. Do they have any more Storms remaining? Of course not. They would be using them. Reverse shots coming in from the backside, though. 2 Reavers into the mix. The Ultra's coming on down. Do they just want to take down the Nexus is the question. It seems like they do. God, the Reaver shots are brutal from these guys. So the Nexus goes down. That's a pick up and evacuate situation. Thank you very much. And the Ultras get out, some of them with their lives. Lings, once again, checking bases at the 6 o'clock. Is there anything there? No. Going into the natural base? No. Not a thing you want to do either. And jumping on top of an Archon, trying to kill it, but all of his friends are there, and he ends up surviving with 35 HP on that shield, which is not a lot, but we will take it. Is this more Reaver drop action? Storm drop this time. It's going to be DT Reaver drop. Look at this poor Ultralisk. Oh. Oh, poor Ultralisk. Scarab Buzz does finally explode there. Single Zergling, not really enough to stop this from happening. Thank you for offering, though. Drone count is down to 40 for Squall. Wasn't he at 56, 59 or so earlier? Not a great place to be here. Reaver dropping the dead bases is interesting. Is he going to take down... He's trying to take down the Greater Spire. Interesting target. I really don't... Oh, I guess maybe for the Scourge. Yeah, trying to prevent Scourge from being built. And the Greater Spire does go down. Final swipe from the DT. He's going to die with a couple kills, but one of them is Greater Spire, and that's not a bad deal at all. Another Spire getting replaced up here. 180 to 145 supply. WhiteRa sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. He has retaken his natural, which is actually looking pretty good economically because it was so dead for so long. Usually by the 25-minute mark, those naturals are no longer a good source of resources. Reaver drop bottom right. Scourge helping with that one. 3 o'clock position, going to die unopposed again. Because that's what hatcheries like to do. And this is just a lot of Ultras, man. But Ultras versus Archons. Are we going to engage here? Going to try to engage here. Kind of a north to south scenario. Really, really nice Maelstrom here. The Archons are just tearing through the Ultralisks unopposed. That was a shellacking. 146 to 106 supply. Squall, what does he have left? He's got a couple Ultralisks. He has a Defiler. But it's a 146 supply Protoss army, and overall that is just not gonna work for ya, if you know what I mean. Alright, WhiteRa, just being patient. It's usually how he plays, is with a lot of patience and Reaver drops and stuff. This Ultra thing is not going to work versus these Archons. He just sees mass Hydralisk. But he didn't make the tech switch in. We've seen tech switches before from Zerg players like Hero into the mass Hydra versus these Archons, but not today. Not happening today. The Archon count is too high. It can pretty much handle anything the Zerg player has, with the exception of, well, I guess Guardians would be pretty good in the situation if you could avoid getting stormed into oblivion. Another drop. WhiteRa never actually replaced this top left base. I didn't know that. Alright, fair enough then. The Reavers are your big concern right now. I guess the Reavers are pretty good against Hydras too. But they're fast enough, they can usually avoid the Reavers and hit them from distance and surround them and stuff. But I think that's it for Squall. He tried to make some stuff happen. He took down a couple buildings, but it's 173 to 107 supply. Is that all of the Ultras? What do we think? Are there any Ultras in these Overlords? The answer is no. Any up here? No. Down here? Yes. You might be the last Ultralisk, man. We're going to call you, Wally, the last Ultralisk. Fare thee well, Wally. I hope you survive. It's not looking good, though, my guy. Additional upgrades. I mean, we're just at 3-2-2 here for the Protoss for his ground units. The Zerglings are at 2-3. Zerglings are utterly useless against Archons. Like, utterly useless against Archons, especially in these numbers. Especially... Oh, hang on. Wally's got some friends. And we're going to use Dark Swarm for the first time today. Hey, a Dark Swarm is up. But there's a Reaver, and the Ultras decide it's time to get on out of there. The Defiler died a long time ago. I mean, Squall is trying to make this thing happen, but he's down 70 supply to WhiteRa, and I just don't see him miraculously pulling this off. I like this army, I do, but it's trapped now. And Storm is really good. And there's Reavers. Now he's down 80 supply to the Protoss. I mean, I commend him for his persistence here. I really do. But it's just too much. You're doubled up on supply versus WhiteRa, one of the greatest StarCraft players of all time. It's just not going to happen, Captain. I like how the Zealots are like, we know an exit when we see one. Production tab for Squall is empty at the moment, which is never a good thing in the 27-minute mark of a match. Single Ultra gets gained up on by 3 Archons and a Zealot. Get on out. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. My gosh, I love that sound. I love the sound of Maelstrom. It's one of my favorite things. 88 supply for Squall, making 3 Ultralisks at a time. But once he loses his tech structures, I think he's pretty much done here. Is that a feedback on a Defiler? It was. Hey, you got a kill? You got a kill! Dark Archon! Feedbacks the Defiler. Not sure how much of a threat he was anyway. Ultras fighting in a confined space with buildings helping protect them. It is an ideal situation for them, but being outnumbered 12 to 1 is not an ideal situation for them. Alright, and that's it. That's your good game, says Squall. You want a rematch? WhiteRa says, go, let's do it. Squall's left the game. WhiteRa is your winner in 29 minutes and 26 seconds. So I liked the opening from Squall. I really did. The fact that he wiped out this natural base was huge. But then the tech switch into Ultralisk was not good. There were Archons on the field already. WhiteRa was making them at a pretty, terrifying clip. So I would have loved to just see a huge Hydra push in there instead of going for Ultras, which just don't do very well. They don't do super well versus Protoss unless they've gone for like a Zealot Dragoon strategy. But with Archons, definitely not. Definitely not what you want to be doing here. So good use of, I want to say interference matrix. That's a StarCraft 2 thing. Good use of Maelstrom, good use of Storm, good use of Archons and Reavers and Reaver drops, and just patience today for WhiteRa. He gets that win. Well played, good sir. End of the day, 257,000 points for WhiteRa, 199,000 for Squall. 400 units killed by WhiteRa, lost 134. That is some effective murderation there. And then, again, Squall out-macroed him as far as resources are concerned. More gas mined, more minerals mined. Okay, a little bit less minerals mined, and more spent by about 4,000. But when you have a lot of Archons and Reavers and Storm, you're going to be incredibly cost-efficient. And that's going to be all she wrote. So that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.